Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 4 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Washington where the victim of an accidental shooting has passed away. Washington police say they were called to a home in the 800 block of West 11th Street around 12:30 Wednesday morning, where they found a boy, a 15-year-old, with a gunshot wound to the head. He was airlifted to ECU Health Medical Center. This morning, officials told WITN that the teen has died. A news release says it appears the victim mishandled the gun, which led to the accidental shooting. Washington police say the shooting is still under investigation. And now we want to turn our attention again to the recent Supreme Court decision that rendered President Trump's tariff policy unconstitutional. NBC's Julie Sirkin has more.
A gut punch to President Trump's signature economic policy. The Supreme Court today struck down many of his taxes on foreign countries. In a 6-3 decision, the justices said Trump overstepped his authority when he imposed sweeping tariffs using a law designed for a national emergency, known as the International Emergency Powers Act, or IEPA. President Trump lashing out against the justices.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed.
And warning he will try to hit countries with tariffs a different way.
Today I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122, over and above our normal tariffs already being charged.
Trump imposed so-called reciprocal tariffs last year on nearly every country in the world, claiming he was leveling the trade playing field and arguing the taxes were a matter of national security.
Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy. And they're dancing in the streets.
But American businesses have been paying tariffs on goods they sell here and make overseas. Several small companies have sued, saying the tariffs were so high they can't stay in business. The court's decision also makes clear the president stepped on Congress's territory. NBC's legal correspondent Gary Grumbach explains.
This is a ruling that is incredibly important politically, economically, but also for the Constitution's separation of powers. Chief Justice John Roberts, in his opinion today, said in no uncertain terms that the power to tariff and the power to tax lies with Congress, not the President of the United States.
Congress has voted several times to block Trump's tariffs on certain countries, and some Republicans joined Democrats today to celebrate the Supreme Court's ruling.
Since President Trump imposed those now illegal tariffs, the U.S. has taken in $130 billion in revenue. So now the big question is, will and how will businesses get to recover some of that money? What happens to the trade deals that have been reached? All of that is still to be worked out. In Washington, Julie Sirkin, NBC News.
Well, thank you, Julie, for that report. We now want to turn to your weather forecast. We are watching rain showers pull away from eastern North Carolina. Let's get your map up on the screen right now, and you can see again still have some green around Hyde County and southern Terrell and even mainland Dare County getting in the mix. But for now, inland areas, particularly those of you watching along and west of Highway 17, looking at drier conditions than what we just experienced over the past few hours. Again, rain showers had rolled through. We are now looking at drying conditions through the rest of the evening until we get into the early morning hours of your Saturday. That's when the next round of rain is expected to show up. We've warmed back up after those raindrops have rolled through, back in the low 70s in Rocky Mount, Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, and Washington. Close to the 70-degree mark in Williamston, Stumpy Point, Swan Quarter, New Bern, and Jacksonville. All of those areas coming in at about 68 degrees. But the southwesterly wind that has really kept the heat in play over the past several days will be shifting coming up tomorrow. Right now, more of a west-southwesterly breeze across the east. This is a view through our Pirate Cam. Of course, we've got the big game between the Pirates and the Tar Heels coming up at 5 o'clock at Clark LeClaire. 72-degree air temperature. Right now, looks like perfect conditions for the game. You may want to bring maybe a towel or something just to wipe those seats off, because we did have some rain roll through earlier this afternoon. For this evening, 68 degrees by 6 turns to 65 by 7, low 60s from 8 all the way through 11, and then we're dipping into the upper 50s around midnight. Low 50s by the time we reach sunrise tomorrow morning. Now, sun may rise, but the cloud cover is going to make it difficult to see. It is going to be a cloudy start to the day tomorrow, and it's going to last all the way through the weekend. Not seeing a whole lot of sunshine for both Saturday as well as Sunday. And coming up for tomorrow, rain showers again are going to be present. I think we'll see most of the rain on Saturday come in during the morning hours. Here's 2 a.m. and again, seeing some drops extend their way across the east. As we head into the afternoon, again, we should start to see those rain showers decrease. So it'll be a process of gradually increasing rain, then gradually decreasing rain, and then we get to Sunday, and that's when a full low pressure system moves in. And with that low pressure system, it is going to be a wet Sunday from start to finish. Anticipating most of our rain we see this weekend will be coming in on Sunday. As far as chances for severe weather, doesn't look like it's going to come to fruition. We had a few thunderstorms earlier today, but air temperatures over the weekend actually going to be dropping, going from the mid 70s today to the low 60s for tomorrow and the low 50s by the time we reach Monday. Now, Sunday night into Monday, we are looking at a potential for perhaps some snow flurries around the Albemarle Sound. For those of you watching east of Highway 17 and mostly, again, north of mainland Hyde County. Once you get south, you're kind of mixing in with some warmer air, but there is that low pressure system moving over North Carolina. And behind that low, you've got a lot of very cold air. You can tell we've got snow there projected for portions of Maryland, Pennsylvania, even extending back into Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky. The air back there very cold, and as that low pressure system moves off the coast, it's going to drag some of that moisture back along the backside of that low, introducing it to the cold air and creating a potential for some snowflakes. Now, it's important to note that air temperatures may be down below freezing, but a very, very slim amount of time is going to be spent below freezing. So ground temperatures aren't going to drop down below 32 degrees in time to get any of those snowflakes that do fall to actually stick to the concrete or the pavement, the asphalt, roads. Roads should be good by Monday morning. Obviously, it is something we'll continue to monitor as we head through the weekend, but right now not anticipating any sort of school cancellations on Monday due to the presence of some snowflakes. They will be potentially sticking to grassy surfaces and elevated surfaces, but after we get past, I would say, around 9 a.m. on Monday, it's not an issue. 46 degrees on Monday, 45 on Tuesday, and then we're back in the low to mid 60s by the time we reach Wednesday and Thursday of next week, which by the time we reach Thursday, we'll be talking about our next chance of rain that at this point looks like it will extend into next Friday. That's all we have time for today's 4 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Friday, an even better weekend, and we will see you back here coming up Monday morning at 7:10 a.m. with Jim and Gigi.